Let's go to YouTube. Prophecy. And I was watching Kevin Durant's um, press conference, and listen, isn't it weird that KD just can't help himself sometimes? It's like, we don't want to ridicule him. We don't want to bash him. We don't want to say anything bad about KD. But people gotta hold him to higher standards. You know, like you should have no filter when it comes to bashing other NBA players because they're players at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like they go home, they play, they go home to their family and friends, and they live their life. You know what I'm saying? While we struggling, you know, each and every day. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the luxury that they have. You know what I'm saying? But I know this camera is awful on my tablet. I need to figure out how to put some lighting in here. So if you see my face all black, that's just the camera. But we gotta hold KD to the same standards as we do these star players. You know, I'm all for him wanting out of Brooklyn. I knew that when he went to Brooklyn, it was not going to last. Even though he signed that 5-year or 4-year extension, he was not going to commit to those 5 years. Now, I would say he went to a more structured place in Phoenix because obviously if you look at Phoenix and you look at the Nets, they have the same similarities. Neither have championships. The big three in Phoenix, Aiden, Paul, Booker, none of them have championships outside of Kevin Durant. So where is this, like, when people say championship or bust, it's not really about a bust because we put so much expectations on these athletes to go out there and win a championship. That don't mean crap. Winning a championship, whether it's the NFL or NBA, it don't mean nothing to them. Championships are nothing. Like, what does a championship hold? What bragging rights does it? Oh, I got more championships than you. Like, you sound crazy. Like championships. I don't care about a championship. A championship is nothing but a participation trophy. That's all it is. A championship doesn't make you be better, or a championship doesn't make you get motivated. Now obviously if you won a championship, go ahead. The more merrier to you. But I just feel like, winning championships isn't the end all be all. I think there's more to sports about there's more to sports than winning championships. Because if you look at Bill Russell, he has a lot of chips, but nobody mentions him. Nobody puts him in their top 5, top 10, probably top 10. Robert Ory, he has how many championships? 7. Nobody mentions him. So championships can be a blur. But KD, like I said, man, KD wanted out of Brooklyn. He got his wish. Now he's on the team with zero expectations. So even if they don't, well, I'm not gonna say don't because obviously they're too talented. But I don't think the West is wide open. I really don't. If you look at the teams that's contending for a championship, you look at the Lakers, you look at the Clippers, the Warriors, the Nuggets, the Grizzlies. You still have to go through those teams, and you got the defending champions, Warriors. So I don't think the West is wide open. I think they're gonna have a little bit of chemistry issues because obviously neither of them play together. You know, now I'm talking about KD when KD, you know, comes back from his injury. You know, I mean, because I was watching Colin Coward and then he was saying that KD is more of a gadget player. You know, you could just plug him in any system in any team and he's gonna fit right in. It doesn't work that way. You still have to build camaraderie. You still have to build chemistry. That's not how it works. Because Chris Paul never played with KD. Booker never played with KD. Aiden, he never played with KD. So it's going to be new to him to obviously get accumulated from those guys. You know, it's not like, first day on the job, you aced it. You know what I'm saying? Or you ace your final midterms or whatever. You know, you're playing with different people who play different styles of basketball. Because there's only one basketball to go around. It's not like you could play with two basketballs or whatever. So I just think that KD doesn't know what he wants. You know, and Brooklyn had a very good record. Like, why not stick with them? It's not like they were 20. It's not like they were 23 and 33. They 33 and 20. I don't know. Right now they're 24, 25. They're right in the midst of things. KD could have said, you know what, I'm gonna stay and build around this team. You know what I'm saying? We got these young pieces that we could work with. You know, I'll probably work with Ben Simmons on his shooting. You know, he doesn't necessarily have to shoot a three. He could just shoot a mid-range, and that'll be fine. But no, when the tough gets going, he bails out. And what do you think he's going to do when he can't get over the hump? Let's say Chris Paul suffers another shoulder injury or a hamstring injury, you know, and now Booker has to carry the load. KD has to carry the load. What then? So I think this is just all smoke and mirrors. People need to stop believing the hype. And they're not going to win the championship. They're not. The assets that the Suns had to give up to get KD, it never works. It never works. It never works. Now, if they can find somebody in their bench, or I don't know how they're going to do it, but if they could dig deep and find somebody like a very good perimeter player that can play very good defense, then okay. But you gave up Mikal Bridges and Cameron Payne to get KD and multiple draft picks. Now, obviously, I could say, well, if the Suns would have just kept those guys, it still wouldn't be enough to win the championship. Because whoever comes out the East, whether it's Boston, Milwaukee, or Philly, those teams are built to go head to head against Phoenix. But since they got rid of those two key players, it kind of, you know, handicaps them from a defensive standpoint, you know. But if they think that they could just outshoot everybody, just like how they did in Brooklyn, it's just gonna end ugly for them. You know, and that's all I have to say about that. I have no animosity towards KD. I think he's a great dude, but he just makes poor decisions sometimes. You know, it's just like in the movie. You make poor decisions, and I wish he would have just stayed in Brooklyn. I mean, they had a pretty, like I said, they had a pretty good record. It's not like they were bad. I'm just guessing. Well, not guessing, but I think KD, he doesn't want to do it by himself. Like, if KD would have stayed in Brooklyn and Kyrie left, and KD would have stayed in Brooklyn, he has versatile players. Cameron Payne, he could play defense. Mikal Bridges, he could play defense. Ben Simmons, he could play defense. All KD has to do is worry about shooting. And Mikal Bridges went off 42 points. You know? But, like I said, man, KD is thin-headed, thin-skinned. When the tough gets going, he bails out. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he's going to do the same thing to Phoenix. It's going to be a matter of time when. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other. Oh, my God, I need to fix this camera. Y'all can see me, right? See how dark I am? It's the camera. I can't. I don't know. I'm kind of new to this tablet, so I got to figure out how to make this more brighter. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.